Garrett, where we at? So me and Garrett are kind of going on a cruise. We're northwest of Hastings, Nebraska right now. We're kind of doing a crop tour around here. That and going after something. It's the weekend, so it's a good Saturday thing to do, right? It's the weekend. It's Saturday. Anyway, no, the corn looks really good around here. It's kind of amazing what a few degrees makes as we go further east of our farm. This is, for those of you not used to it, there's kind of, they call it the Tri-Cities, which is probably laughable for people in actual cities, but you got Kearney, Grand Island, and Hastings, and they're kind of in the south central part of the state. So just kind of doing a crop tour drive-by, and looks pretty good in this area for the most part. What?
We're looking at 4-wheelers and stuff now, too.
Yeah, we'll probably drive through a few lots. 10-4?
Can we go in some?
Of course. They're open. So new day, different rider, but you can't really see her. She's facing backwards, but I got Margaret back there. We took Tom after his pickup. He got it serviced or some tire. Whoa. Skunk. How's your smell-o-vision in this thing? That was pungent. I'm going to show you a picture here my dad took the other night. My poor brother. He's got a field that we purchased it in the last couple of years, but we've kept it to alfalfa. Just because it's still good enough to raise alfalfa off of. Eventually we'll have to switch it out and plant corn into it, just because alfalfa doesn't last forever. But somehow the end tower wrapped around and it pretty much ate itself up there on the end and knocked the end two towers. If you can see the video here, I'll let it play. But yeah, so that's kind of a bummer. So he's gotta figure out how he kind of wants to fix that or replace it. I don't know. It just, you kind of got to wait for insurance and all that stuff to go through to see how much they give you and all that rigmarole. But so that's something else he's got to deal with. So before we get any further in this video, I just wanted to mention again from the last video, I am working with UMC, which deals with pivot, irrigation pivot driveline products. If you want to check them out, they're in the link below. As you noticed in the beginning of this video, there's a little bit of an additional piece there. So, like I said, happy to work with them, and let's move on to the next thing now. So to begin with, I want to apologize for the microphone issues that are coming up here. I was trying something out on my phone here just to see if it worked better. It actually worked worse, and that's sometimes I always buy these little things that I hope to improve things, but they always seem to backfire. But oh well, that's the way it goes. So sorry, I've been had to shut off the radio again. Squirrel. No, we've been dealing with supply chain issues along with like everything else going on right now. And one of the things earlier this year we had to decide on was sprayers. How we typically been doing it was we were behind another farmer with an R4038 model, which is like a 1,000-gallon tank with a 120-foot boom. He opted to go to the largest sprayer, which is really large, which kind of put us in a predicament because we didn't really want to go that much bigger. So it kind of left us scrambling on sprayers and what to do next. A lot of the sprayers that the sizes we get have been going pretty quick. Ours was causing a little bit of issues, not bad, but we weren't sure if we wanted to stick with it. So we decided Landmark had one coming in, a new one, and so we decided to put our name on that, but it finally showed up yesterday. And so what we ended up going with was they changed the numbering system on these. This is an R4 or 412R, which you can get these with 100-foot booms, but this one was ordered with 120-foot booms, so we're going a little bit wider there. And also the tank is a 1,200-gallon tank versus the 1,000-gallon tank, which will be a nice little upgrade, especially when you're going into fertilizer and stuff and have to do the higher rates. But They do come with the newer style cabs, kind of like the tractors do. So yeah, just kind of do a little walk around with what they look like, I guess. Fairly similar. I mean, it's the same idea as our other one, but there has been a few upgrades. Like I said, we got the wider booms, and this is still kind of the smaller frame though, so we're not in the large frames. I think they're the 600 series when you get to the big frames. It's got your front fill right here, which is kind of what we used to have. That's really nice when you're spraying fertilizer because you just nose in. When you're having to fill all the time, it's nice not to be able to have to fold your booms up and pull alongside the nurse trailer. This is your eductor. This is where you could mix with chemicals if you wanted to, but we usually do it on the truck now. This is your load system. I don't know if I can turn it on down here, but anyway, this will count down gallons to see how full you are when you're filling. This can rev your engine up and turn on your spray system. You can do a lot of things to test things back here, as well as also turn on your eductor system. All right here, so you don't have to run up and down for the cab. We still got to put our spray tips back on this one, which we'll do, but it's wet out, so. Yeah, I mean, the tank's a little bit different shape, I think. Then you got your rinse tank that's up top. That'll allow you to rinse your tank off without having to go get more water. So if you have any more questions about how these work, just leave them in the comments below, please. Because I would more than happy be like, up here, let's go take a look in the cab. So here's what it looks like in the cab. You got your updated stereo, but everything else is similar. Like I said before, to their cabs, it's just the surrounding cab is a little different. Your air vents, and now you got your standard refrigerator and stuff in it. Our other ones never had the buddy seat. Got your 110 outlet. What's nice about these cabs is they do give you more ports and stuff, just like everything else. Comes standard with your Diet Mountain Dew. Oh, I'm starting to put together my FSA maps, so don't mind all this stuff. This is stuff we gotta, for those of you maybe new, you gotta certify your acres if you're involved in any government programs. You gotta tell them exactly where you planted everything and go from there. Maybe I'll do another video or part of a video on something like that. But lately, hail has been a big issue this week. Every night we've had some kind of hail come through. And if any of you follow me on Instagram, we'll see some of the picture, maybe a picture or so that I've had on this. Every one of our fields, I believe, has had some degree of hail on it these past few days. And so that's what we're trying to decide now is what the course of action is. A lot of it will probably come out of it, but there's some fields where you're just not sure. And so you got to make that decision. Are we too far along to replant anything, or is it better to look at? So those are the conundrums we're kind of dealing with right now. So maybe we'll head out to a field now just to kind of look at what we got going on there. So let's roll. So the corn that's near our farm, the leaves got shredded up a little bit, but like here in a week you probably won't notice much of that. So this isn't our field, but I don't know if it'll give you an idea. So yeah, like those leaves are shredded up, but that'll come out of it fine. Or decently. It still stinks to be hailed on, because here in a week you probably won't notice it, or two. But we'll keep going on. We'll kind of do a little crop scout here, see what's up. So a lot of the area in Nebraska has been affected by hail. A lot of central Nebraska over these past few days It's a pretty big area that's got affected by hail, so it's just the degree and how early it's been affected by that will determine a lot of the yield loss, if there's any on some of this, or if there's not any at all. And even the beans are getting affected by it, and so that's going to be determined here as well. I've never really been hailed this widespread this much at this stage in the game, so it's kind of a new frontier. And from talking to a lot of people, it kind of is, like, especially as widespread as it has been. So we'll see what that kind of equates to over this next few weeks and, well, year, actually. Dams are full. It's also interesting, here I was probably maybe a month or a little more over a month ago, I was complaining about it being the driest I've ever seen it coming into planting season, and now we're not wet by any means, but we're getting back to maybe normal levels of moisture in the soil. It's just coming fairly quick is all. So coming up on this field, this is actually one of the first cornfields we planted, and just you can tell how deep green it is, that it might have gotten a little bit of hail on it, but I think this one's going to be more than okay. Once again, it's windy, so I apologize if there's a lot of wind noise. Like I said, I tried with the microphone, but there's only so much I want to invest in here. So this, we get a little stripping of the leaves. Not a huge deal. It can maybe introduce a disease a little bit more, but at this stage we're not really concerned. This looks pretty good actually right here. We'll call this acceptable. This was actually one of our first fields planted, but it wasn't the tallest. This was one of the ones where it was really dry and it was really hard when we planted it, and this is the one where I'm not going to say anything, but I'm going to say anything. They weren't sure how well a job I did planting it, but as of now it looks okay. This still got great potential here, and hopefully as long as something doesn't come up and get hailed out, this still got probably 100% potential, give or take. That's my call anyway. We got a field across the way there. It was actually planted quite a bit later. This was like the 26th of April, maybe 27th. That one over there was maybe the 10th of May, I think. Go find another field. Obviously, we're not going to check every single field. That'd be the most boring YouTube ever. These are kind of the ones I check. So if you can see, this is another field that's relatively untouched, maybe a few stripping of the leaves. And I love that when the section control works right. So section control is automatic shut off of your planter. You have to calibrate it correctly to make it work right. So if you hear me say section control, that's what that is. But no, that field looks good. Still decent potential there. So I'm going to show you as we go about 2 miles to the north. the difference. And this was probably one of our best looking fields that we had. It's a gravity field, and it was looking pretty good, and we'll show you what it looks like now. For those of you who were on my Instagram, you might have seen it. It was pretty dark green across this field the other day. You can hear me okay, but this is the stuff I have questions on. It'll be interesting what we'll actually end up doing on something like this. Is it too far gone, or is it early enough that this will come out of some of this? I personally don't know for sure. Maybe some of you do, maybe you've seen it before. I mean, you get one there, but then you get a mowed off here. Yeah, let me flip you around. I'm just not sure if that comes out of that or what. And here it is, June 8th. You can guarantee me 15 to 18,000 stand. Do you still leave it? Because you can still get a decent crop even at that thin a stand, but it's just not this is not 100%, I know that. Another interesting thing is just a few miles down the road here, or not even a mile, a half a mile. I'll show you the difference in this next field. We'll see what happened. This ain't near as bad, but it's good. So this is kind of what we're looking at on this field. You still get one like this guy, I'm not sure. Probably. Not sure. Probably. So yeah, that's the conundrum we got to work with here. But yeah, it just varies in degrees. It's all circum to an extent. But like I said before, a lot of our fields got hit to a certain extent. Just last night, this is from 2 nights ago, just last night we got some up at our Mason City farms that, I mean, it knocked windows out of like our landlord's house. But that corn's not as far as long as probably this is. So that's all part of this, I don't know what you call it, this conundrum is what I can think of, because I've never really had to make this decision on this broad a scale before, and we'll just see. We'll go field by field. We'll talk to the agronomist. Probably, I mean, obviously we got to get the hail adjusters in here and make some decisions. That's handy. Well, guys, I think I'm going to call this video here before I get to bore you too long. Plus, I got a tire I may look at just in case if it's going low. It's only down to 30 psi, which is not an emergency. So yeah, we got a lot of decisions coming up here. I'll try to keep you informed as best as I can. I guess right now, a lot of it's probably just wait and see, and we'll see how resilient a lot of these crops are. Like that one field, we'll just have to go off of what the agronomists and maybe the crop adjusters go off of. I don't know. I really don't know. So we'll see how that goes. But guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate you stopping by, and we will catch you on the next one. Later.